In 1976, soul singer Retta Young released her singular album, Young and Restless, on Sylvia Robinson's All Platinum label. And from that album, the sly, slinky opening track, Really, Really. Okay, love the chord progression already, and that searing that flying.
Everywhere I go, people are asking,
That kind of like jet engine sound.
haven't you heard? Haven't you heard?
Okay, where the progression we have here? Dun, e, dun, no, 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 no. I think it's like E minor with a suspended second because it's like E, E, F sharp, F sharp, E, E, da, and then it goes down to D, D, like that.
You think that I'm a fool. You think I will leave you because of what they say.
Hear that how that bass is just kind of smoothly gliding along and throwing in these waves that aid in the key changes and I love how that sound just signals the key change.
Think I will leave them, but they don't know. I know that they're lying.
Hear her voice, the way it's just like oozing with like sensuality and
Tell me they're lying. Tell me they're lying.
that kind of like it's both like innocent and yet kind of seductive at the same time. Kind of got that bedroomy sigh quality to it.
Tell me what they say is untrue. You really love me.
It got that whole like slanted eye kind of effect to it, in the mood, not to mention the chords.
Really love me. Really love me. Really love me. Really love me.
The way that she like extends those vowels just right, just kind of gives them that slight quiver.
Really love me. Really love me. Really love me. Tell
Hear that soft violin, the way it complemented her vocal line.
me what they say is untrue. And you still love me.
Oh, that bass line, just so fluid. Like just follow that for like a couple of bars, and then take time to follow the lush orchestration behind her, and then of course follow her. But just take it apart. Take a moment to appreciate each layer.
Everywhere I go, people are saying, didn't you know?
Oh, those vowels of hers, like the word no, the way she like quivers it out. Yeah, and also hear that.
Didn't you know? He's found him another.
That drumming with the selective use of the hi hat.
He doesn't love you. It's all over. It's all over.
I think there's like one hi hat per bar.
Tell me they're wrong. Tell me they're wrong.
Actually, every other bar.
I know you love me. I know you need me. And
That's so interesting how he's choosing to go like tst, like once every other bar, whereas we were getting into the era of like tst, tst, like every other like on every 2 and 4.
tell me what they say is untrue. You really love me.
Hear that other sound? Like in the verses you had that and then here you have kind of more of like a watery, kind of bubbly version of that sound.
Really love me. Really love me. Really love me. Really love me.
I hear those horns just kind of lightly coming in and accenting the end of of the bar.
Really, really love me. Really, really, really love me. Really, really, really love me. Tell me what they say is untrue.
That brass, yeah, just embellishing her just ever so subtly.
Still love me.
This is a great moment for the bass and for the brass. Let's see, this song was written by C. Holmes and J. Lowe. And that team, a great deal of this album was written by members of the Moments, the Sylvia Robinson produced act, and kind of bears some of the sonic hallmarks of both that band. Like I did a video on them like about a month and a half ago, and a Sylvia Robinson video a couple of months ago. So it's that all platinum records type of lush, kind of bedroomy, kind of like dim the light, or kind of like dim red light in a dark room type vibe. Like just like her album, Sylvia's album cover. Oh, here how the brass are interacting with the strings and how they're like forming this really tight structure, and the bass just driving along and those sounds. Yeah, so many like musical element, a very musical album for despite like the vocalist being the main attraction. Yeah, there's.
That you really, really love me. Really, really love me. Really, really love me. Really, really love me.
This seems to be just kind of characteristic of the kind of soul music like involved in like Sylvia Robinson's stable. Like it was as much about the backing music as it was about the singer, and the singer would put like a lot of kind of sexuality and sensuality into it. Yeah, that was definitely kind of like the old platinum kind of touch. More of a trebly blast to brass there, and we got to hear that guitar just clipped guitar just a little bit more frontal. Yes, but as a matter of fact, if you took a few layers out of that, and left perhaps the bass and the guitar, that was very muted throughout, but like it came a little bit more frontal there, and the brass, you keep those, you would have just kind of like a real smooth mid-tempo funk song, funk instrumental, yeah. But all the parts together just make it, something worth revisiting time and time again, because there's so many layers to take apart, and it's got that beautiful chorus to it, and that beautiful kind of like slanted eyes, sensual, seductive vocal by her, like over those beautiful chords. Yeah, and I swear I kind of was thinking I was hearing a major seventh, but I didn't quite pick it out exactly. Yeah, sometimes like a minor with like a suspended second or something, depending on the key it's in, can kind of have that similar slanted eye effect, that kind of bedroomy, cushiony, tonal feel. Yeah, really, really by Retta Young. Let's hear another song from the album, the ballad "We're So in Love." Now this is definitely major seven. This dun 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 na dun dun G G G G made F sharp. Yeah, G major 7.
We meet every now and then in the same old place.
And up to D. Yeah, beautiful like vocal melody over this from her.
Hiding out where no one can recognize our face.
There's somewhat of a kind of Olivia Newton-John-esque vibe kind of. I'm getting kind of like the last one we heard was kind of like bedroomy, kind of dim the light, late night candlelight seduction. This is more kind of like effervescent, out in the grass on a sunny day, you know, watching birds, watching dogs play, you know, sort of thing.
We both know it's wrong, breaking up our homes. But we're so in love, we don't care who it hurts, and it's all wrong.
That flute, yeah, and they're just kind of buoyancy of the track.
You have a wife and one child, and so have I.
The way her voice kind of arches up like that over the key change as it moves from G major seventh to D, yeah, gives it like a real melodic hook that the music itself wouldn't have. I love it when the vocal itself kind of adds to the melody, adds something that isn't otherwise there in the melody.
My husband's home in bed right now, I should be by his side.
Something's going on here. She's kind of having tryst with. She's married. She's a married woman having a tryst. Did you just hear that?
But I need to safely in the bar across the street.
So this is a very like innocent, carefree kind of like sounding song about infidelity, and yet also at the same time kind of has that almost kind of like innocent little girl type vibe, or like young at heart type vibe.
'Cause we're so in love, we don't care who it hurts, and it's all wrong. I go through life day to day, trying.
I love that key change right there. Now they're going into G. A different. They've altered the G. Now they're in like G7. Yeah, but G7 has kind of that lower kind of note in it. It has an F in it, and that gives it kind of that lower kind of dipped feel to it.
Find a way to tell you to end it all. But when I see you,
Hear her voice now. Her voice is getting a little bit more kind of sensual. It's actually getting a little bit more into the same vein as the last song, mood wise, more seductive.
you make me feel so brand new, and I love feeling this way, feeling this way.
Oh, I love it when it goes into those flats and sharps. Yeah, it found a way to go into that alternate key path.
Whisper words of love to me like you always do. And each time my phone rings, I come running to.
I love it when she hits those high notes. It's kind of almost, in some ways, kind of like a female version of Russell Tompkins Jr. in parts. I just think of like the way that he emphasizes like the end of certain like at the end of each couplet he'll do like some of his like highest notes and kind of like spiral up and give the song kind of like a bit of a melodic twist that wouldn't otherwise be there without his vocals.
And it means a heck of a life. And we're so in love, we don't care who it hurts, and it's all wrong.
This sounds kind of, I guess rhythmically, this has a light kind of Latin type feel to it.
And we're so in love, we don't care who it hurts, and it's all wrong.
I think some of the same drum machines, those really early drum machines that Sylvia Robinson was using on her album from 1976, the Sylvia album, and that the Emotions were using even earlier, like in 1974. I think it's on here too. Yeah, I'm hearing it.
It's all wrong. We're so in love, we don't care who it hurts, and it's all wrong.
I believe I'm hearing a mixture of that early kind of soft drum machine with some hand percussion.
We are so in love, we don't care who it hurts, and it's all wrong. We're so in love, we don't care who it hurts, and it's all wrong.
Okay, it was briefly I kind of detected that drum machine bit, but I may also be hearing like a kick drum, but I'm not hearing toms
We are so in love. We don't care who it hurts, baby. And it's all.
This song is not so innocent after all. We don't care who it hurts, but we're so in love. Yeah. I think having lyrics that somewhat contradict the feel of the music is a reoccurring theme on this album, perhaps. On some of the songs, not the last one, but.
We're so in love, we don't care who it hurts, and it's all wrong. And we're so in love, we don't care who it hurts, and it's all wrong.
Let's see, do we have credits? Let's see, producer, The Emotions, or at least half the band. I guess we don't have, no, we don't have instrumental credits on any of the Discogs entries for this.
And we're so in love, we don't care who it hurts, and it's all wrong. And
I love how the percussions are interacting with that flute and the overall.
we're so in love.
It's strings that are giving us this kind of warm, summery backdrop.
We don't care who it hurts, and it's all wrong.
And the bass is more sustained on this. Yeah, it's less like fluid like on the last track. It's more just kind of creating sort of a thickness and a warmth. Like
And we're so in love, we don't care who it hurts.
oh, and all those qualities, mixed with the quaint production from another time and place and era that just when you can close your eyes to this sort of music and it just takes you back to just a mystical land of Super 8 visuals and glowing lights and kind of darkened surroundings and yeah, just summery mid-70s vibe. Yeah, close your eyes and play music like this in sequence for like several hours, and it's like you're transported in your mind back to 1976. Yeah. Retta Young with We're So in Love, and before that, Really Really, from her 1976 singular album, Young and Restless. Originally released on All Platinum Records and reissued in recent years amid the flurry of renewed interest in soul music from this time period. Let's see, the entry on jazzrocksoul.com for Retta Young states that following a string of short players with the Superbs and the Devotions, she issued a trio of singles and one album under her own name during the mid-1970s. Signed to Sylvia Robinson's all-platinum label in 1975, Young hit pay dirt with the wah-clicking, hi-hat fervency of sending out an SOS. To capitalize, the singer recorded the wittily titled Young and Restless LP in 1976. Most of the material was written by the album's producers, Sammy Lowe, Walter Morris, Harry Ray, and Al Goodman. The latter two of the Robinson-guided soul trio, The Moments. Themes of romantic wishfulness pervade lyrically, a mood alternately enhanced and contradicted by the backing music. What was I saying? Yeah. At times the music and lyrics kind of contradict each other, tone and mood and topic-wise. A dominant fifth in the key of F illuminates the anticipatory sentiments of My Love Is On His Way. Faint melancholy in the vocals and overall tone indicate that the upcoming moment has kept her sanguine. A fleeting wah-wah viola stirrup in the middle emphasizes the nervous excitement. As the rare moment approaches, loopy legato licks carry out the waiting period. With a synth beam on every eighth bar of its watery E minor 7th to D minor 7th progression, Really Really hears the singer moan and plead for sweet nothings from a man she's been warned against. Okay, so the first song, I didn't have like the lyrics in front of me, but I guess despite its seductive tone, she was trying to seduce a man who was not being very attentive to her. So it was kind of like a one-way sexual mood going on in that first. So both the tracks we listened to kind of had lyrics had kind of a plot that somewhat contradicted the meaning of, like, the first being very seductive and yet spoken from the point of view of the dissatisfied, the second being very sweet and innocent sounding, yet spoken from the view of a two-timing woman. An abrupt, nervous string escalation hints of a none too happy ending. By contrast, she gives her partner a romantic ultimatum on the ironically lithe major seventh string floater, Now or Never. So yet another song, like even a third song follows this kind of contradiction between music and lyrics. It's conflicting tone. And the singer finally finds happiness on the instrumentally muted yet chordally rich, multi-sectional We're So in Love, on which she avows her devotion in spite of others' doubts. Little more was heard of Young beyond an elongated, dance-friendly remake of My Love Is On His Way in 1978. Married to Al Goodman, she retired to family life as her husband continued with the Moments into the next decade. So there you have it, the entry on Retta Young on jazzrocksoul.com, perhaps the most thorough bit of information on her career online, yeah. From artist who's otherwise like little known about, just kind of was briefly around, just kind of like Ricky Boger, like the one I covered a few weeks ago. But yeah, there were, the mid '70s was just so musically active that yeah, there were, when I face it, I mean, so many people deserve to be more broadly heard, but considering that these years of the mid '70s, there was only 12 months in each of these years. There was only 4 times 12 weeks. There was only 365 days out of the year. There were only so many radio stations. There's only so many slots on the top 40. There's only so many, there just wasn't room for all the deserving songs and artists to really get a fair hearing. And that's the great thing about the '70s, though, is that it's been archived for an eternity of replays, so we can just spend from now until infinity, taking our time to work through each one of the hundreds upon upon thousands of great musical acts from the '70s and early '80s and such. For more Rubies and Sapphires from the Retta Young album, see the directory of albums by American soul artists linked in the description below. Like and subscribe and follow me on social media, and leave a comment if there are any observations that you have on the 2 songs we just heard, the layers, the mood, the chord progressions, the instrumentation, the sounds, the vocals, the lovely vocals of our very talented young lady here. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most ear travel trimaximalist, signing off.